Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to take this opportunity to also recognize the Associate Chief Justice of Liberia, who is here with us today. This session will be a little bit different than the other sessions this morning because we're taking this opportunity with having everybody here to announce the launch of a global study on legal aid that UNDP and UNODC are leading. I will be making a short presentation on the framework and content of the study, and my co-panelist, Musarraf Tanriverdi from the GIZ, will be providing some comments and feedback on the relevance of the study on behalf of the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, who is the partner on the study. Let's see. I'm trying to use the, I hope this works. Okay, great. This study is being led by UNDP and UNODC and has benefited from the partnership and guidance of an expert group that is the steering committee for the study. We have been collaborating in defining what the study should be about, how to implement the study, and how to maximize the impact of the study. We have been very privileged to have such an engaged and passionate group of people advising us on how best to collect accurate and relevant data on legal aid. Already this morning, several people have raised the issue of data collection and the importance of having relevant data in order to make, for policy making and in terms of prioritizing allocation of budgets for legal aid. And we feel that this study can help make a contribution towards that effort. Before I go into the specific details of the study, I just wanted to take a step back and put it in some context and show you a few videos. I will start with a video of an interview from Uganda. Actually, the person that we interviewed is actually here in this conference itself. Thank you. And she talks a little bit about the linkages between poverty, development, and access to justice. Legal aid is often a critical tool for many people who require legal services but are unable to afford it.
We have to understand that in Uganda, at least the official figures say that 26% are below the poverty line. Those are the official figures. The government wants to look at it. My view is that it could be all the way up to 40, based on what I see. And when you talk about access to justice, you must realize that the bar goes higher for who needs legal aid. Because it's not like when you have a headache and you go and pick a, I think you call it Tylenol, pick a tablet or two of Tylenol and take. It's not like that. When you have a case in court, you need to pay filing. You need to pay, to open up a file with a law firm. You need to pay filing fees. You need to keep paying, and then the case takes forever to come out. So really, to get any access to justice, to talk about any access to justice, you have to have paid an arm and leg. And so, I always say that the bar goes higher when it comes to who is poor, when it comes to access to justice.
The linkages between poverty, inequality, and justice are increasingly being recognized at the global level, as well with the discussions on the post-2015 Sustainable Development Goals. The current proposals being negotiated include a target on equal access for all to independent, effective, and responsive justice systems that respect due process rights and equal access to legal aid. This is a huge step forward compared to the discussions around the Millennium Development Goals, which did not include any discussion around governance or rule of law or access to justice. But in order to measure progress towards a target such as this, to illustrate how access to justice, including legal aid, is central to sustainable development, the evidence base needs to be strengthened and accurate and reliable data must be available. This study aims to contribute to national and international efforts towards data collection on rule of law and access to justice. The global study on legal aid overall aims to take stock of the current state of legal aid worldwide, including collecting data where possible on the availability and accessibility of legal aid services. The study will seek to map out the existence of legal aid laws and policies, models of legal aid service delivery, statistics and data on the availability and awareness of legal aid, and identify gaps in good practices in legal aid delivery. Many of the topics of which we are discussing over the next 3 days. By providing a more accurate picture of the situation of legal aid worldwide, we hope that the findings of the study can help to better inform policy, programming, as well as technical assistance on legal aid. In terms of methodology, the methodology of the study includes a background desk research on existing data and studies on legal aid. As many of the speakers this morning have already mentioned, there is already a lot of data that's already been collected, so it would be a matter of collecting the data that exists already and the studies that exist already, and they can feed into the country analysis that we will be doing. There will also be a quantitative dimension where we'll ask UN member states to provide data through a member state survey. This will be complemented by several expert surveys for each country. In a few countries, we'll be conducting in-depth case studies to also include people's perspectives, including perception surveys and focus group discussions. We are also aiming to use next-generation technologies, such as the one developed by UNDP's Regional Bureau for Africa, to capture qualitative data through audio-visual interviews. The research questions for the studies are structured around these broad themes. The survey instruments have yet to be developed, but we'll seek to elaborate questions on these themes. And I just wanted to show you a few more clips. To illustrate exactly the type of information.
We at the Uganda Law Society do print brochures once in a while, or legal texts that are really simplified in different languages about domestic violence, about land rights, inheritance, succession rights, because those, in our legal aid clinics, those are the recurrent issues. So that's why we always have resources out that are in very, very simple terms and in many local languages that we distribute to the communities around the country, so that they understand their rights, their responsibilities and duties as citizens, but also so that they know what to do once their rights are violated.
And I just have one more clip to show you before I conclude.
Common issue, especially for spouses, is when one dies, especially for women. One dies, they don't have all the legal title. Normally in our African societies are in the husband. The husband has, probably the father remains, the husband has brothers and all that. And there's always a very big risk of, a woman losing the entire estate of the husband just because they don't know what to do. And basically things like awareness can go a long way in dealing with a lot, because it's the minority of cases which find their way to courts. But a lot of legal capacity is required to resolve basically the civil relations among people generally.
So I just conclude by noting that we are about to embark on this study. We're at the beginning stages and hope to complete it by the end of 2015. We will be reaching out to many of you as government representatives, experts and practitioners to help us in gathering the data regarding legal aid across different countries. As a start and as part of launching this study, we are already beginning to collect some data through interviews that we are conducting here. And my colleague Francisco, who some of you may have met, is doing the interviews in the rooms just as you enter the building. So if you have some time available it would be great if you could confirm whether you are available for interviews for the study. Thank you very much.